left-hander from People's Republic of China. It's from Chongqing. Sporting hero Michael Jordan. And he says he's in single-minded pursuit of his dream this weekend. Got to the last 16, so the same round last year. And Tony, you think that he's very, very dangerous for Gavin Rumgay now, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I still feel Gavin can come through it, but Hu is a very dangerous player. I know last year the Chinese felt he was one of their strongest contenders. In the end, he went out in a very close match against Thomas Sedlec last year, so he can buckle under pressure. He was quite a long way ahead in that match, so one person who's great at putting people under pressure is, of course, Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin doesn't give anybody an easy game, and actually, he hasn't lost a single game in the whole championship so far. The last one, though, played Huang Riliang of China, so he knows how to beat a Chinese player. And that was 15-13 in the second, but still 2 straight. But every round is getting tougher and tougher for all the players now. The standard, definitely the best we've ever seen. Beautiful control from the left-hander. Gavin running around, but doing enough to just push Jun away from the table. There, gets him away, and then makes it a little bit more difficult for Hu Junchao to pick that one up. So good start for Gavin. You can hear the exertion from Gavin. Every shot. Big exhale as he hits the ball.
I think he's playing his double-point ball, Colin. We've seen this before from Gavin.
Double-point ball.
So now we change to the white ball. He's elected to use his power play double-point ball. On your own serve, you can use this once in a match. He's using it incredibly early. He gets 2 points if he wins this one. And he does. He gets 2 points. That pushes him up to 6-2. So really interesting innovation in ping pong, that double point ball. He's used it now to get 1 per match. Except for the final, in fact, where you've got the best of 5, and then you'll get 2 of those. But he's now used that, but it's given him a 4-point lead. That's a bit of a weak backhand from Gavin, who saw it straight in with the forehand attack. Pulls it back to 3-6 and serving. So 2 serves each, up to 15 points. 15-14 is enough. No 2 clear points on this form of the sport.
4-6.
Winner of this one will play the winner of the next match that we'll see. That's Chen Jia, the remaining female player. Really lovely left-handed penhold style. Cuts the ball with side spin a lot. You'll see that coming. And she'll be playing Oriol Monzo, who put out last year's finalist. And he actually had 3 match points for the championship last year. So Oriol Monzo playing really well to get through against Huang Jungang, last year's finalist, and plays against Chen Jia next. This match will determine who plays the winner of that one. Fast backhand serve from Gavin. And Gavin not playing the ball very low with his forehand, kind of popping the ball up. You get such good length, it's hard for Hu to get the timing on his backhand.
Yeah, that was kind of a classic Rumgay point, wasn't it? Hu played a great backhand, very fast into the corner. Gavin did so well to keep it in play. And as you say, it wasn't necessarily the greatest quality forehand, but just by making Hu play that extra shot, he takes the point. So good at staying in the rally.
Yeah, that one's a top edge, though.
7.
Disappears into the crowd. So important with this form of the game to middle the ball, to get it in the sweet spot of the bat. You've only got to be 5-6 centimetres away from the sweet spot, and you can make your opponent hit the edge of their bat, and it will hardly ever go on the table. Fast backhand serve again, Hu Junchao.
6-8.
And again, Gavin sending the ball fairly high with his forehand, and Hu not liking the flight of that ball as long as Gavin gets the length with it.
Yeah, the length was crucial there. Landed right on the white line, I felt.
Well played, Gavin, getting around his backhand, playing that forehand. Making a bit of a statement there. He's going to make this game physical. He's prepared to run 100 miles, possibly 500 miles. And Gavin had fought 500 more to win this game. What a fighter. 9-6 in serving. That's a beautiful return of serve from Hu.
9-7.
Forehand down the line. Gavin thought about running around, and he spread it wide of Gavin's forehand. Well played, Hu. Fast serve down the line, just missed the forehand. Didn't give it enough flight on that one. Top of the net and off the table, so that's a point to Hu. Six-year-old from China. So a younger man in this competition. Gavin's been around for a while. He's been 11 years and 10 months the Scottish #1. Old mate of Andy Murray from tennis days when he used to play tennis as a very young boy. Decided to go for table tennis and now into sandpaper ping pong as well. Both players guaranteed $2,000 at this stage of the competition. And the winner will move on to at least 3. And again, Gavin, as you were saying, Tony, he just hangs on and just gets one more back with pressure than the other guy can handle. It happens so often, but beautiful.
Big rally, and it was a huge point at 9-all there. Now Gavin's got his serve as well to follow up, going into that lead. But Gavin there hit 4 forehands almost to the white line, 3 on the end and then 1 on the sideline. Terrific placement.
Fantastic accuracy. He's so good at the brinkmanship of the game.
10 each.
Again, a good aggressive return from Hu Junchao. He's being stretched, but he's matching, and now it's 10-all. Gavin's second serve. They serve 2 each. Again, Hu goes wide with the forehand, gets Gavin away from the table, forces him to play backhands. Good tactics from the Chinese.
Terrific return of serve, I felt there. Again, got it right on the white line, on the wide forehand side for Gavin. He had to stretch across, gave a slightly weaker ball, and then Hu, as you say, switched it back into the Rumgay backhand quite quickly.
Let's serve.
So the ball clipping the top of the net, very, very fine, but that means they take the serve again. Only true on serve. During a rally, if the ball hits the net and goes onto the table, they just continue. If indeed the receiving player can return it. That's what they call a let serve. First to 15, best of 3 games. Final tonight will be best of 5. Good backhand from Hu. Yeah, nice consistent backhand. Good a piston-like motion, use of the shoulder. See the shoulder pushing out there. Not the fastest backhand in the world though, Tony. Hu, lovely player. Last 16 he reached last year. Goes wide of Gavin's forehand again to start with. Gavin's in with his forehands now. Well done, Gavin. Consistent forehands, gradually pushing Hu further and further away from the table on the backhand. 1, 2, 3, 4, forcing him to play backhands. Good pressure from Gavin. 12 points all. So if it went to 14 all, it would be sudden death for the game. 15-14 will do it. Forehand serve from the backhand side. Runs round again. Has to cope with the forehand down the line again.
13,
Didn't like it.
12.
Gavin looking thoughtful there at the end of that rally. That forehand down the line has been a way that Hu has got quite a few of his points. I think Gavin likes that one.
Each.
Yeah, terrific return of serve. I felt that previously he'd been looking to turn on the return and play it with his forehand. So Hugh cleverly went wide, but Gavin waited and saw it was going there and still managed a top quality return.
Backhand serve from Junchao. Gavin's in. Who goes down the line, but he was so far from the table, couldn't make it drop when it got to the net. Not enough spin in this with these bats to be able to pull the ball down onto the table. Exactly where Gavin wanted him. First game point of the day. The Rum Dog. Forehand serve from the backhand side, threatening to play forehands from the backhand corner, and does. Beautiful shot down the line, but what a great block from Hu. He did very, very well on the fourth ball of the rally there, the receiver's second shot. And so, game point either way. 14-all, sudden death on this point, 15-14 wins. Best of 3 games. Rumgay's used his double point ball. Junchao has his to come at some point in the match. Gavin collects himself. Goes across court with the serve. He misses the forehand. Junchao really pleased, blows his cheeks out. First game, Gavin, what a disappointment for him. Delight and relief, I think, for Junchao. And the return of serve was so long, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, both players, I think, have played fantastic here. I know Gavin was shaking his head and he'll obviously be disappointed, but look at how deep into the corner that was, and that's been a feature from both players. They keep hitting the white lines. Really good stuff.
Okay, so Paul giving Gavin a bit of advice, as he often does. Oh, Chen Jia, she's on next. She's sorting out a bit of admin before she goes onto the table. Probably off to do her warm-up now, before she plays against Oriol Monzo of Spain, the next game. So, Tony, what do you think Paul's saying to Gavin?
Well, he mustn't get downhearted. The thing is with Gavin is he likes to front run. That's why we see him play his double point quite early in matches. He likes to take that first game, but he's not really got a big issue with fighting his way back into games either, because he's so consistent. So I don't think he will get downhearted. He'll keep trying to make Hu play more and more shots, keep the rallies long. That's what he likes.
Yeah, and he'll keep reminding himself he only lost that by a point. So as long as he keeps up his standard, doesn't take too much risk and start making unnecessary errors, then he's in it. And he's happy with a 50-50 fight generally. He always believes that if he's in a 50-50 fight, for some reason, he'll find a way to come out just on top.
Love 1.
Now the top edge couldn't get his bat onto the ball securely with the sweet spot. Backhand serve from the middle of the table this time.
1
Prepares his serve like an archer.
It's interesting. I was talking to Gavin's long-time coach, Miles Ross, earlier, and he was saying that Gavin is using lots more different serves at different points in the game to just try and confuse the opponent, and that was one there we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, and it worked, so back to 1-all. Gavin running around everywhere to get his forehand in, and again, couldn't quite make the ball dip to get it across court without going off the end of the table. So one great shot wide of the forehand, the second one just too long. The margins are so fine, you just change the angle of your bat 1 millimetre, it goes flying miles off the end of the table. That's a great return of serve. That is an absolutely gorgeous return of serve. Well done, Gavin.
Yeah, look at how low this stays, coming us really right in the corner, but it stayed so low over the net as it went across.
Yeah, he slid across the ball, and that meant that the bounce of the ball was a little bit lower than usual. In terms of the grip on the bat, very, very minimal grip. That's what makes this game so different.
2,
Very interesting in a different way to modern standard table tennis with the fast spinny rubbers. This is just a piece of wood, plywood, with a little bit of sandpaper on it, with virtually no grip. Oh, there we go. Wonderful play. And Hu is getting very, very consistent in those forehand-to-forehand exchanges.
Yeah, what was interesting there is you see the difference in their backhands. You saw Hu play early in the rally to Gavin's backhand, and he just sort of played a soft block type shot back, but the moment the ball went onto Hu's backhand, he hit it just as hard as he does on his forehand. So that's a problem for Gavin.
Yeah. So if Hu is matching Gavin forehand to forehand and has a slightly stronger backhand, then Gavin may be in trouble.
5-2.
Yeah, one thing for Gavin, of course, is he's so fast around the table that he manages to use his forehand most of the time, so he usually more than makes up for it.
Let's see if he can. You can see, you can actually see the arc of the ball on that serve. Definitely getting the ball to move with side spin. Junchao on that serve. Very, very clear to see that they are able to bend the ball through the air and make it kick slightly off the table. Remember that the modern rubber bats with the elasticity, the trampoline effects they have, get about 50 times as much spin. But they're really working this ball beautifully. And there's a good example of just opening the shoulders, waiting for Gavin to run round, and then see ya. Taxi for Rumgay. Tries it again, Hu, well done down the line. And Gavin goes all the way around the backhand side. His foot nearly hit the barriers then he went round so far. And he knows he's struggling. He's looking around at his coach. He's having to cover a lot of ground with the forehand, and he's pinned away from the table at the moment. Not good for Rumgay. I feel Gavin's got to stay a little bit closer. Half-long serve.
Yeah, perfect length on that serve. Gavin was hoping it was going to drop off the end of the table, but the second bounce just was so close to the white line that he couldn't manufacture a stroke.
I see you coaching the youngsters that one, Tony. Very smart serve. Does it again. Gavin has to come in and flick. And he's missed a forehand again. Just not settled at the moment. 9-3 down in the second. Something dramatic has to change if Gavin's going to survive. Go for a place in the quarterfinals. Chatting to himself. Doesn't look the same confident Gavin that started the match. Forehand tomahawk serve.
That's good from Gavin. Far more pace on those forehands. It took all the power away from Hu because he was having to deal with the incoming speed rather than produce it all himself.
Yeah.
Much better from Gavin. I actually heard someone in the crowd say, "Nothing to lose now, Gavin."
Oh, what a great forehand.
Absolutely right.
Cross court. And Hu got across to it. There is nothing to lose now. And he did what we were kind of talking about, staying closer to the table, kind of hitting the ball down at Hu rather than up at him. Is there a chance? Consummate left-handed. Attacking Gavin wide of the forehand before he goes into the backhand. Beautiful switches. Now the stroke production, you just see the efficiency of those strokes from Hu. Fantastic. Got Gavin really on the run. There's only so much he can do. Just on balance for that one. Can't get the power. Oh. And of course the power play double point ball is still available to Hu. He takes it now 11-4 up in the second. This is pretty much a killer rally. Gavin is in a must-win position against the serve here. He can't afford to lose 2 points in this single rally against the white ball. Survives. And he knows that it just gives him a sniff of a chance now. He only gets 1 point for it, but prevents 2 for Hu. And it's 5-11.
Yeah, funny, sometimes when you win a point against a double point ball, it can give you a boost and bring you back into it, even though you don't get 2 points. So Gavin will be feeling really positive about that.
Oh, what a great alternative serve. Tony, you were saying about the variation of serve that Gavin's been practicing. Backhand serve from the middle of the table. And look at that fast one out wide of Hu's forehand. A complete surprise to the Chinese player. And he could never recover and get back up to the table from there. Well played, Gavin. Same again. Oh, my word. That's courage, and that's good bluffing.
7.
Yeah, Miles actually said to me he'd been practicing what he considered junk serves. Just not worrying about spin, but purely surprise element.
Okay, well, a bit of quality needed against the serve, and that was great. He took the ball early, hit the ball down onto the table more than up, forcing Hu to go back and lift the ball. And isn't this typical of Gavin Rumgay? You think he's really struggling, but somehow you think it's always possible he can come back and win this. So dominant mentally, no matter what the score. So Hu Junchao is suddenly a great deal to think about. Short serve. Nice backhand from Hu, but Gavin's still in there. No mistakes from Gavin in several rallies. Well done. The belief is back.
Yeah, we never doubted that Gavin would keep fighting, even when I think he was at least 6 points down in this game. He's pulled that back to only 2 behind. He's definitely still in it.
And now serving. 2 serves to come. No power play, double point balls to come. He's got to grind it out one at a time. That's a good forehand, but he's stuck away from the table. Oh my word! And the shorts go up. He's back to 10-11. I think he might have red boxes on, Tom. And he's going for it. Going for it there. You see the backhand backspin there to win that. Brilliant. I think he's a bit fired up. Back to 10-11. This one for even. Can't quite do it. See the tension, leaning back, he knew, but Hu really pinned him wide of the backhand corner. Sensible play from Hu Junchao.
Yeah, Gavin knows what he did wrong there. He knows he leant back on that forehand, didn't fully commit to it. Unfortunately, it doesn't help to know once you've done it, but he's still there. Still only 2 points down.
Serve wide of Gavin's forehand. Gavin forced a chop on the backhand. Still in it. He's still there. Oh, and he ran round and Junchao saw it.
13-10.
Gavin, looking at his coach, said, I had to go for it. Brilliant backhand chops. And then this one, he runs round. Who saw it? Beautiful down the line. Very relaxed forehand down the line finish. So Hu using peripheral vision there to see off Gavin.
Terrific shot. I think Gavin was saying, come on, play fair. You saw I was going that way.
So now problems again. We're getting closer to the finish line for Hu. 13-10 and a game up. Oh, it's just what, 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres off the side of the table. Not quite falling for Gavin. Gavin will have felt that, those tiny margins. Got to get your body exactly in the right position to execute. Just drifted off the side. Almost like a dart hitting the wire and coming out. It's that close. So, match point. Hu Junchao. Winner goes through to play the winner Chen Jie and Oriol Monzo, which is on next. Gavin serving and survives. 11-14. Gavin needs 4 points. He'll serve this one. He's against the serve for 2, and then he'll serve again. So 2 serves each. And Gavin needs all 4. Backhand from the middle. Will it be the junk serve? Will it be a fast serve? Fast serve to the backhand. Oh, and he can't get the backhand over. And that's the match. Hu Junchao, well played. 15-14, 15-11. He stayed solid under a lot of pressure from Gavin. A lot of mental pressure, a lot of physical pressure, a lot of technical pressure, a lot of tactical pressure.